Hi, Elise Dewsberry here, and today's topic is think like a director. And what that means is when you're writing your script for your new musical, you really need to put on a director's hat and possibly an actor's hat and think through what's happening, in particular when it comes to transitions. If you're the director, how are you going to stage this? How are you going to get from scene one to scene two? If you can imagine it in your mind's eye, and imagine if you were the director and you're putting people on stage and you're having them enter and exit and change costumes and you're moving the lights and moving the set, what is it going to take? In the same area, you want to think about what is a director going to do with the size of your cast. Now, I'm a firm believer that you should write the show to be the size that it needs to be, and I don't think you should follow any of these rules. How if you write it for more than 6 people, you'll never find a producer. There are places out there that are looking for 6-person musicals, and places that can only do 2-person musicals, and places that won't consider a musical that doesn't have at least 15. So I think you need to write it for the number of people that you feel the show needs. But think like a director and possibly a producer, and take a look at how busy you're making those people. This isn't a movie, so you aren't going to bring in a bunch of day players to do a big ensemble scene and only pay them for the day and send them home. These actors, if they're not on stage, they're in the green room watching television and ordering pizza. So you want to really think about whether or not the number of actors that you have in your script are, that your producer is going to see a reason to hire them and your director is going to find a way to use them. So you really want to think about that. And in every other aspect, just go through your entire script thinking with your mind's eye, what is this going to look like on stage? If you say something like the lights dim and hold for 30 seconds to indicate a passage of time, try that. Imagine that you're sitting in the audience and you close your eyes for 30 minutes and see what it feels like to sit in the dark for 30 seconds, and see if you then really do want to write in your script that there's a 30-second darkness to indicate passage of time. So think like a director, think like a producer, think like an actor. Now, the caveat to that is don't think for them. So where you want to draw the line is in the script that you send out to producers and potential directors. That doesn't mean that you want to fill up your stage directions with things like this is exactly what, or send them stage designs of exactly what the set is going to look like, or put in your stage directions detailed instructions about how a particular special effect could be accomplished, or whether this is happening downstage left or upstage center. Even though you want to think like a producer or a director, you don't want to think for them. Don't do their job for them. If you want your scene to take place underwater, just say it's underwater. Let your creative team figure out how they're going to do that, depending on their budget and on their creative vision for the piece. So that's a little bit of a tricky message to deal with, but that's what I want you to think about when you're writing your script. Think like a director and a producer and an actor, but don't think for them. Hope that's useful, and see you again next month.